right now where you're absolutely willing, you know what, I'm open to this stuff, man. If Gary can teach me how to be more positive and inspirational and talk to myself and I can start accomplishing things, oh my gosh, I'm open to it. If you're not, if you're just kind of faking it, it's tough. Next, going up one, I want you to write repetition. Repetition. Once you learn something, you have to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. I think of basketball players. You know, most basketball players that have a good coach, at the end of practice, what do? You should have 100 free throws. Good golfers, at the end of the golf tournaments, they go hit 100 shots out of the sand trap. Why do you think they do that? Repetition. You got to get good at it. All right? If you only come one time to this thing, this seminar today, you don't do any repeating it after today, where do you think most likely you'll be in 3 days from now? Exactly where you were today, before you came. It's all repetition. The next one, going up, I want you to write utilization. Utilization. If you don't use it, you'll what? Lose it. So some people, I gotta get it so perfect, I gotta get it down, analyticals especially, I gotta get everything right before I'll use it. Sometimes the best way to go out there and do it is with real bullets, and you might mess up, but so what? You get back on the horse and you try again. So use it. Fourth one, put a star next to it. It's the most important one, I think, besides willing to be impacted, is I want you to write internalization. Internalization. You want it to become part of you. You want it to become natural. I don't care what profession you all are in this room today, but you're all salespeople. Would you guys agree with me? We all sell something. We sell our business. We sell who we are. We sell what we do. Some people, no, I'm not in sales. I'm just a consultant. I don't sell. Do you know if you're fearful of sales, you're going to present yourself as being fearful to talk to people? You should be like, one of your affirmations be, I like sales. I like talking to people. Now, I'm not saying used car sales like pushy. Okay? I'm talking, you should be polished in sharing what you do with other people if you want to have a business and be successful. Do you all agree with me? Okay? So we should endear sales. It should be something that we like. Sales is something that, sales is our friend. And then the last, the very top, I want you to write reinforcement. Reinforcement. You got to, every now and then, you got to go back and review the stuff. A lot of companies we work with have us come in once a month and work with their crew. So they're reinforcing it once a month, over and over and over and over again, because then it becomes part of you. Once again, one-time keynote, don't touch it again, what's going to happen? Probably go back. Now, sometimes though, I can do a one-time keynote, and then I'm coaching the managers how to follow up with people and whatnot, but most people don't have the self-discipline to continue to do it. I'm hoping today, whether I see you again or I don't see you again, you're going to say, Gary told me I got to have self-discipline, so you're going to write it down, and I'm going to review this stuff regularly. When you walk out of here today, I'm going to give you a game plan of how to, right away today, start being more positive, and you're going to have some accountability. But I know 70% of this room probably won't do what I tell them to do when they leave. That's why I bring it up, okay? Okay? And that's why I say, I'm telling you now, do it. Because if you do this for 21 days, you guys ever heard that expression, 21 days to form a what? Habit. It will become part of you. And we all want to get to internalization, right? We don't want a quick fix. Nobody came here today for a quick fix. We came here to hopefully have some massive breakthroughs. I want you somewhere on your paper to write massive breakthroughs. Yolanda's my assistant, Deborah over here. They've seen me the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been even getting more into this last 3 or 4 weeks than I ever have. And I've been doing this for a long time. And I have had massive breakthroughs, guys, with companies, with organizations, personally in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I believe it's because I've even stepped up this positive self-talk even more than I've been in the last 3 years, the last 3 or 4 weeks. And because I've been stepping it up the last 3 or 4 weeks, guess what's happening? Results are coming. Does that make sense to you guys? All right, so be open-minded today, and at first, I'm okay if you fake it. I'm okay if you do these talks, and I'm going to tell you how to write affirmations at the end. And at first, I'm going to feel uncomfortable and whatnot. And I'm going to give you guys, if you want to call me afterwards or get on my card and you need me to kick you in the butt, no charges. It's my thank you to you for coming out here today. If you're not doing it in 2 days and you want me to kick your butt, I will. Call me up and I'll do it. In a good, loving way, of course, okay? But you might need that because you might find yourself in 3 days not doing it. And you go, oh man, I need someone to get me. Okay, next one. Saying something positive out loud stops you from thinking something negative inside. It's very hard to go, I'm on fire, I'm rocking it, and then go, but this sucks. Okay, it's very hard to do that. You can go the next second and say this sucks, but you probably won't if you're talking positive stuff out loud. Next, with language you invent possibility, with action you live into it. So the language is very, very, very important. The last one is, what is self-talk? What do you guys think self-talk is? Anybody? What's self-talk?
Voice in my head.
A little voice, okay? Voice in your head. What does that voice say to you usually?
You can't do something.
You can't do something. Or it's okay to be average. Or I'll get to it tomorrow. You know what I mean? And what if it was the little voice saying, no, get up. No, go do it. It's going to be uncomfortable. But that's okay. You're going to be happy you did it. All right, what if that started to happen? Might there be some breakthroughs? There would. So here's some questions I want to ask you guys. Number one, what time of day are you most susceptible to negative self-talk? What time of day? Morning, afternoon, evening, what do you guys say? Shout it out. You guys are on TV. You're on TV. Come on, you guys make some noise.
When the alarm goes off.
When the alarm goes off. Okay, that's not a good thing to start the day or to be in there. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? When you get out of bed. Okay. Anybody else?
4 o'clock. 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
No, that's enough for your glass of
Does anybody have a hard time in the afternoon?
I go 1:30. Yeah, after lunch then.
Yeah. Okay, so my first book that some of you haven't seen before, I wanted to write a book that was different than any other sales book out there. And I think you should look at your business the same way. And I want you to write on your paper USP. USP. Does somebody in here know what USP stands for?
Unique selling proposition.
Unique selling proposition, that's right. All right, so what's different? What's unique about you and your business? That you got to know that. You got to. What makes you different and better? What makes this city better, Mark? Okay, Shannon, what makes your practice better? Okay, Terry, what makes you better than anybody else going for a job? Do you think you should know that?
Yes.
Absolutely, you should. Okay, unique selling proposition. So I'm going to write a sales book. Now, guys, are there a lot of sales books out there?
Well, only one.
Well, that's a good one. Okay, there's a ton of them out there. So I go, what am I going to do to write my book to make it different than any other books out there? So I literally went on a Saturday morning in jeans and a t-shirt down to Barnes & Noble and sat there all morning and looked at all the sales books. And I said, God, a lot of topics are covered here. And I said, what can I do to make mine different? And something that I noticed. I noticed that all of the books were written by one person or co-written by maybe 2 or 3 people. And there weren't any books that were like a survey, a study of very, very top producers and what they did in sales, and took kind of a look at it from what does all the top producers think, not just one person's opinion. So I wrote a letter to 100 CEOs of companies, presidents, VPs of sales, and I said, I want to travel with your #1 salesperson for a day. I want to come out with them. I want to have dinner with them and their family. I want to ask them, what time do you start in the morning? What time do you finish? How do you prospect? How do you plan? How do you answer objectives? How do you bounce back when you're down? All these types of questions I want to know. Because my thoughts were, yes, I was blessed to be #1 sales in everything I've ever done, but who cares about Gary, one guy? If hundreds of people all do this same thing, and they're all #1 people, do you think it might be a good idea to at least listen to them? Absolutely. Okay, so here's what happened. My company funded this. I went on the road for 2 months. Some of them were here in the Bay Area. I drove around the country. I flew different places. It was about a 2-month project, and I actually met with 21 different people. I would have dinner with them the night before, and then I'd sit with them in their cubicle, their desk, etc. the next day, and I asked them all these questions, and I found out there were 84 things that were similar amongst these people, and that's all in my book. And one of them I want to tell you guys about is these 21 companies that let me do this. All 21 of these #1 salespeople were morning people. Every single one of them. So some of you in here that go, yeah, mornings, it's hard for me. Okay. Now, but very, very top producers are all morning. Now here's the interesting thing. 11 of the 21 used to not be morning people. Then they go, oh, I guess I got to be a morning person to be successful. And they changed. All right? Now, I'm not saying you can't be successful if you're a night owl. But I'm just saying, you might think about that morning thing. All right, so you want to say affirmations, you want to have positive self-talk, especially at the times when you know you're challenged with it. If you're challenged in the afternoon, you're challenged with it in the evening, you want even more positive self-talk at that time. What holds you back from making conscious efforts to improve yourself? Come on, what do you guys think?
The way we feel about ourselves.
How you feel about yourself?
It's a comfortable area, we don't want to stretch out of it.
Yeah.
Laziness.
Laziness.
Well, the environment you're in.
The environment you're in, the people that work around you guys. Here's something to think. I want you guys to write this one down. Write down the 5 people that you spend the most time with. If it's your children, don't count them, but like spouse and business people and friends. Write down the 5 names real quick of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Now, you may not know what income they make, but take a guess. Just take a guess and write down how much income each person makes. It's just a guess. Take a guess. This person makes nothing. I know they don't work. This person makes $100,000. This person makes $1 million. This person makes $250,000. This one makes $50,000. Just guess. I know you may not be right, guys. I know you don't know everybody's money, but just guess. Now, add those 5 incomes up. And divide by 5. I would guess that most of you are making about that kind of money. If you hang around people that are very, very successful, guess what's probably going to be with you? You're going to be successful. If you hang around with a bunch of people that are slouches, that are lazy, aren't doing much, they're complaining all the time, they're moaning and groaning, their self-talk isn't too good, guess what's probably going to happen to you? It's going to fall off on you. So I think the biggest reason why people have a hard time with this and aren't better at it is our whole life we've been told, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, that we have to be more positive. Or as a child, your parents say, you have to be more positive. You know, you got positive mental attitude, positive self-talk. We're always told that. Every business we're in, our managers tell us that. But you guys are getting, we're told that our whole life. Has anybody ever spent an hour like I'm doing today and teach you how to do it? But we're told to do it, right? But we're not trained on how to do it. So today you're going to walk out of here knowing how to do it. Who talks about you in a way that makes you feel better about yourself? Write down the name. Who's the person in your life that because they're around you, when they talk to you, it's like soothing. They make you feel good. They reassure you. With them around you, it's like, gosh, I just feel good because that's the person that really cares about me, or just the way they talk to me. Who's that person? Now, if you don't have anybody, you might want to look yourself in the mirror and go, what am I doing? But I know y'all do. By the way, I was born and raised in San Jose, California. You might hear me say y'all a lot. The company that I work with is based in Nashville, Tennessee. So that's how come I say y'all a lot. But anyways, and I don't have something sticking out of my, you know what, that's the microphone thing, okay? So if you guys see that. Now, because I know somebody's thinking it. What I want you guys to think about is this. I want you to take that person that you wrote on your paper, and I got a homework assignment for you. Write HW assignment next to it. Your first homework assignment is in the next 48 hours, hopefully the next 24 hours. You call that person. You go to that, if they don't live around here, you go spend a few minutes with that person, take them to coffee, pull them aside if they're your significant other, whoever it is, and just say, I just want to